Of all the mysteries in history, few fascinate the world as deeply as the Holy Grail. It's a sacred object wrapped in secrets, theories, legends, and centuries of pursuit. Why did kings, military orders, popes, and secret societies spend so much energy searching for a Tor, trying to conceal it? Was it a cup, a bloodline, a lost gospel, or something else entirely? Today, we uncover the forbidden journey of the Grail. We'll trace its Celtic origins, its transformation within Christian mythology, the crucial role of the Knights Templar, and how its secret evolved into the esoteric traditions of groups like the Rosicrucians. This isn't just a story about a relic. It's a tale of power, faith, and knowledge so profound that it threatened to change the world. Prepare for a story that spans 1,000 years of hidden history, revealing what the Templars might have died to protect. Long before Christianity, Celtic cultures from Ireland to Gaul revered sacred artifacts known as magical cauldrons. These weren't just cooking pots. They were vessels capable of resurrecting fallen warriors, granting divine wisdom, and providing endless sustenance. Myths like that of the Cauldron of Dagda, which never ran empty, carried powerful elements that would later evolve directly into Grail symbolism. So the Grail may have begun not as a Christian relic, but as a pagan symbol of abundance, rebirth, and supernatural power. When Christian monks began transcribing Celtic oral traditions, many of these mythic elements were absorbed and repurposed. The ancient cauldron, a symbol of the earth's regenerative power, was slowly transformed into a spiritual vessel, the Holy Grail. This was a classic case of cultural syncretism, where old beliefs were woven into a new religious framework to make it more accessible and resonant with the local population. The Grail officially enters Christian Europe in the 12th century with the poet Chrétien de Troyes and his work Percival, the story of the Grail. But here's a fascinating detail. In his version, the Grail is not explicitly a chalice. It's described as a mysterious, luminous platter or bowl carried during a strange, ritualistic procession. It held a single communion wafer, yet it glowed with an otherworldly light. Chrétien died before finishing the story, leaving the true nature of the Grail tantalizingly unresolved. It was only later, through authors like Robert de Boron, that the Grail was explicitly identified as the cup used at the Last Supper and the vessel that caught Christ's blood at the crucifixion. This fusion of Celtic myth and Christian theology created an object of unimaginable power, the ultimate symbol of divine truth, sacrifice, and salvation. This new identity made the Grail the most sought-after relic in Christendom, a prize worth any cost. With its new Christian identity, the Grail became the centerpiece of the Arthurian legends. The quest for the Grail was a symbol of purity, redemption, and spiritual enlightenment. Knights like Parsifal, Galahad, and even the flawed Lancelot undertook epic journeys that were less about earthly heroism and more about inner transformation. The quest was a test of the soul's journey toward divine truth. To find the Grail, a knight had to be spiritually pure. These stories, a medieval form of blockbuster entertainment, spread like wildfire across Europe, inspiring kings, monks, and entire generations. The Grail wasn't just a literary device. It began to merge with real historical events, influencing the great military orders of the medieval world. And one order, above all, would become forever linked to its mystery. Enter the Knights Templar. Emerging after the First Crusade, they were an elite monastic military order, sworn to protect pilgrims in the Holy Land. But they quickly became much more. They evolved into international bankers, diplomats, and one of the most powerful and secretive organizations in medieval Europe. Their headquarters were on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, the very site of Solomon's Temple. Their proximity to this sacred location, where the Grail was said to have last appeared, fueled intense speculation. Theories emerged that during their excavations beneath the Temple Mount, the Templars discovered not just treasure, but sacred relics and forbidden knowledge, perhaps even the Grail itself. But what if the Grail wasn't a physical cup? For many theorists, the Grail represented something far more dangerous. Texts, genealogies, or teachings that could reshape kingdoms and challenge the authority of the Church itself. The Templars' power and secrecy made them enemies. King Philip IV of France, deeply in debt to the order, orchestrated their downfall. On Friday, October 13, 1307, Templars across France were arrested, tortured, and forced to confess to heresy. Under duress, some mentioned worshipping a mysterious head known as Baphomet, and other secret rites. The order was officially dissolved in 1312, but the legend claims that just before the arrests, Templar ships slipped away from the port of La Rochelle, carrying their treasure and their secrets. Many believe the Grail was among them, spirited away to safety in places like Scotland or Portugal, where the Templar legacy continued under different names. After the Templars' fall, the idea of the Grail as forbidden knowledge intensified. Esoteric traditions describe the Grail not as a physical object, but as a vessel of divine illumination, the container of sacred wisdom. This Gnostic concept suggests the Grail as a symbol for direct personal experience of the divine, a truth that organized religions sought to control. Legends multiplied. Some claim the Templars took the Grail to Scotland, where it influenced the creation of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Others believed it was hidden in Iberia, protected by the Knights of Christ in Portugal. Still others argued the Grail survived only in secret manuscripts, passed down through a chain of initiates. A library of forbidden wisdom that could unlock the true teachings of Christ. The Grail became less of an artifact and more of a code, a key to a hidden history. Centuries later, in the early 17th century, a mysterious new movement appeared in Europe. The Rosicrucians. They announced their existence through anonymous manifestos, the Fama, Fraternitatis, and the Confessio, promising a universal reformation of mankind through secret wisdom. Led by the mythical figure Christian Rosicrucius, they spoke of alchemy, spiritual enlightenment, and a hidden brotherhood of sages. Though the Rosicrucians never explicitly claimed to possess the Holy Grail, their teachings paralleled the Grail tradition so closely it's hard to ignore. Their focus on inner purification, enlightenment, and the attainment of transcendent truth mirrors the spiritual journey of the Grail Knights. Many researchers believe the Rosicrucian movement was a spiritual successor to the Templars, inheriting and reinterpreting their esoteric legacy. The Grail quest was reborn, not as a physical search, but as an alchemical process of transforming the soul. Through the 19th and 20th centuries, the Grail re-emerged in art, literature, and esoteric traditions. Richard Wagner's opera Parsifal revived the myth for a new era, recasting it as a profound psychological drama of compassion and redemption. Secret societies and spiritual philosophers continued to look to the Grail as a powerful metaphor for inner awakening and the potential of human consciousness. Today, the Grail is everywhere in films, novels, conspiracy theories, and spiritual movements. It's a symbol that is constantly adapting, always mysterious, and forever compelling. Its meaning shifts with each generation, but its power to inspire wonder never fades. So, after 1,000 years of myths, what is the Holy Grail, really? Is it a cup from the Last Supper? A relic stained with divine blood? A lost bloodline descending from Christ? A coded manuscript containing world-altering secrets? Or is it simply a symbol for the spiritual journey itself, the quest for truth that lies within each of us? The Holy Grail remains powerful, not because it offers a final answer, but because it inspires us to ask the ultimate questions about faith, knowledge, and our own purpose. The mystery is the point. Thank you for watching. If this journey into one of history's greatest mysteries fascinated you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The quest for knowledge continues, and new secrets always await.